Welcome back to another episode of Kicking It with Coach Red, where we bring you all the news, stories, takes, and opinions about your favorite teams from the Pacific Northwest, from the good to the bad to the Mariners.
The Mariners, baby.
They're
One
back.
more night.
If you're listening to this on the audio, it is the day before opening day. And if you're watching this on YouTube, happy opening day to you.
Yeah. It's like literally the greatest sports day, at least for me, of the year.
Oh, it's
a great
you know
day.
what? Every team's on stable ground. Every team comes in, same record.
Except for Oakland.
Nope. Actually, they start the season at 0-0. You never would have thought, but they actually do. But before we get into this Mariners extravaganza episode, why don't I tell you who we are? If you're looking for a guy who, since his days as a youth ball player in middle school, his friends said he had a J-Lo booty, but I disagree. I think it's a big dumper. That's me, your boy, Coach Red. You can find me on Twitter at @TheRealCoachRed, on Instagram at @TheReal_CoachRed. Also, hop on over to YouTube, search Kicking It with Coach Red, like, subscribe, hit the bell notifications. Some comments are coming through. It's good to see. And also, big shout out. I will be going to opening day tomorrow. So hop on over to Insta on Friday for a sweet reel of the opening day experience.
I will second the J-Lo booty.
No,
Because
big dumper.
I remember everybody calling you that when I was a little kid.
Yeah,
so,
it's big dumper now.
Right. Forever J-Lo.
If you're looking for a guy that's ready to bring the hype train for this episode, much like the hype train has been chugga choo-chooed for Jared Kelnick, you might be looking for a guy like Killin Cain, aka Statosaurus Rex. Where you
That's
at?
me. That's me. You can find me on Twitter and YouTube at Killin.
And if you're looking for a brother from another mother of Thai France, you might want to hit up Lefty France. Lefty, where you at?
Follow me on Twitter at Lefty France, on Instagram at DFrance13. Go over and follow the pod on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Red Pod. Follow us. Do it.
Just do it.
Before we get too deep into this, I just want to do a quick shout out. Hop on over to the Players Tribune and read Julio Rodriguez's entry into that, because it didn't get me as hyped as the Mitch Haniger and the drought, but it got me going. It gave me my jollies.
It was fantastic.
Tickled your
Great
fancy.
read.
Yeah, suck it, Kevin Mather. You dumbass. I'm so glad that he's gone. I think it was a rallying cry for these guys, in the last year. And you've seen this team be such tight-knit. The reputation is that people want to play here. And I think you're seeing that with Teoscar even going through the arbitration process. He's like, no, I got nothing left up for the Mariners. I know this is part of the deal. And it's great to see. And I think that this clubhouse is going to be a fun one to watch from start to finish.
They are called the Electric Factory for a reason.
Yep, they produce electricity. But before we do that, let's go a little bit about the Mariners last year. Finished the season 90 wins, 72 losses. Won in the wild card round against the Blue Jays, lost in the division round against the Astros, in probably the closest games the Astros played in the playoffs. So we put a poll out there on Twitter. We had a three-way tie between 75 to 85 wins, 85 to 93 wins, and 93 plus. So we ran a second poll. And
run it back.
Unanimous, it came back at 85 to 93 wins. So let's go around the table. Lefty, where do you have the Mariners clocking in this year win-loss record?
I've got them at 93 and 69.
Ooh la la.
Nice.
Yeah.
3 more wins than last year. I mean, it's tough to win 90 games in a season, and let alone back-to-back seasons. A lot can happen, a lot of games, but I definitely think they're going to improve from last year. They've got some key added pieces. And I mean, 3 wins is better than nothing and less than what they did last year, but it's gonna be tough. The Astros are always good, so but yeah, I think they will finish 93-69.
Kate, where you got them sitting?
I have them at 104 and 56.
Fire!
Yeah.
Man, I
And
should
that's
have
it.
called you Little Wayne, dude. You coming in being the fireman.
And I'll tell you
Oh
why.
my god.
I'll tell you why. You're in a division where Angels aren't very good. They added a lot of stuff, but they're still not very good. Especially with 2 of the best players in the world. They keep losing. They can't ever stay healthy. That's one big thing. You have to play Oakland, and sometimes they're scrappy. But you also have to play Texas. You have to face DeGrom maybe a couple times a year, and that's fine, but everyone else they can hit. And they also held their own against the Astros in the playoffs, as you said. I mean, that was a series they should have easily won, in my opinion. Game one would have been the difference maker.
For sure.
And I just think this team has taken leaps and strides on cutting or like getting rid of the bad pieces. Like Jesse Winker, we all expected him to come in and just produce. The dude didn't.
Yeah, he produced the double wink, baby.
One of the only good things that he did for the team
Win the fight.
Win the fight, which sparked the 14-game win streak. I see this team just absolutely blowing out of the gate and trying to win that first place spot. So,
Coach Red, you got him out.
Yeah, Coach Red, what do you have to grace us?
Man, it's going to be a tough follow up to that thing. Whew. I've got them at 92-70, and I have some reasoning behind that. With the way there's less divisional games this year, I think they will beat up on the A's. I think that Texas is improved. I think the Angels are improved, and the Astros are still going to be the Astros. But what I need to see more of is the Mariners taking advantage of when they're playing subpar competition and not playing down to their level.
Yeah.
When they play the highest competition, you look at their record against the Mets, the Yankees, Tampa Bay, you look at Cleveland. These were all series that they won. And you look at where they had trouble, the Tigers, year in, year out, struggle against the Tigers, the Twins, the White Sox, like some of these lower level teams that they're just not doing it. And like you were saying, Cain, they have made strides forward. They've gotten deeper in their rotation with the addition of Luis Castillo. You have a full year of him. You have George Kirby, another year of experience with Logan Gilbert. Your lineup has gotten longer. You know, I'd say that Colton Wong and Adam Frazier at the beginning of the season call them a push, but with the health and productivity of Teoscar Hernandez versus Mitch Haniger's health and productivity last year, you're going to see a jump up there. There are going to be some guys that produce at a very high level that you'll see some regression. It's baseball, but it's going to be interesting to see how some of these changes, the larger bases, the pitch clock, the banning of the shift, how those all play into the equation in the grand scheme of things. Because, God damn it, if it doesn't suck the most that you're playing the best contact team at the beginning of the year with no shift. Like right out the gate, you've got the Cleveland Guardians, 7 of your first 10 games.
Yeah.
It's not a fun start, but they more than held their own against Cleveland all last year.
Yeah.
This is the day I've been waiting for. Like, baseball season is my favorite season. I tend to have the game on almost every single night. I am just so ecstatic that this team is back.
Well, I'm ecstatic. about our projection episode of the 26-man roster on getting 25 of 26. The only slip up was we had Evan White in there and didn't have LaStella, but one host did have LaStella as the long shot to make the team, and that was me, your boy Coach Red. So we hit all the bases, but look, I'll do a quick rundown. Start with the pitching staff. You got Luis Castillo, Robbie Ray, Logan Gilbert, Marco Gonzalez, George Kirby. Came up chalk like we were expecting. The bullpen, you've got Munoz, Seawald, Big Boss Diego Castillo, Matt Brash, Matt Festa, Penn Murphy, Trevor Gott, and Chris Flexen. I don't think I missed anyone there.
No.
We got correct as well.
Get got.
Outfield, you got Pollock, Kelnick, Julio, Teoscar. Around the infield, you've got Ty France, Colton Wong, JP Crawford, Gino, Tom Murphy, Cal Raleigh, and then your utilities, Cooper Hummel and Ham Swaggerty, aka Sam Haggerty.
Yep.
Quick question about Robbie Ray. Did he come? Him and Logan both, I believe, came to camp with a new pitch this year.
Splitties.
So a splitter on a lefty is absolutely gross. And I think this
Ray's
is gonna
spring training numbers.
I know they were good.
He had like a 0.5 ERA and like 18 Ks.
Yeah, bring that to the regular season, baby. Let's go.
For real.
104 wins.
And he amped it up. Like when he started opening day last year, I mean, 7 strong. And you got La Prieta, Luis Castillo pitching opening day.
God.
I mean, the biggest question mark for me is who's your DH opening day? Let's throw it to the room. Cain, I'm gonna save you for last because you're gonna probably like say the Bat Boy or some shit. Get real wild. Lefty,
You told me to bring the Thunder, all right?
All right, let's go opening day roster. Go across, start in left, work your way to right, and work your way around the infield. Finish with DH.
Oh God.
Put you on the spot here.
So left, I'm going Kelnick. Center, Julio. Right, Teoscar. Third, Gino. Short, JP. Second, Wong. First, Ty France. Catcher, Big Dumper. Oh God, DH is a tough one.
Who's Cain? I look into this. Who's starting opening day for the Guardians?
It's either Shane Bieber or Tristan McKenzie.
No, Tristan McKenzie's out for
Probably
weeks.
Oh, that is. I did see that. It's probably Bieber or Savali then.
It's got to be Shane Bieber.
So you're getting a righty.
All right, so look for a left-handed bat, Lefty.
I could potentially see Pollock playing left and Kelnick DHing, maybe.
Hey, that's his choice, Cain.
That's
Maybe.
fair.
Choice.
You know what? That's fair. Sorry.
I don't think it'll happen, but or even having Sam Haggerty fucking DH.
Oh man,
That's fair.
Hey,
Switchy.
Cain, you gotta be careful. We're one F-bomb away from the explicit.
Sorry.
I wasn't expecting it from Lefty. Wasn't expecting it.
I apologize.
All right, I'll go next. I got Kelnick for his defensive prowess and strong spring training in left. Julio obviously in center. Teoscar in right. I'm same around the horn. For DH, I'm gonna go Cooper Hummel opening day, and I'm gonna go with that. Another guy, strong spring training. He could bring that bat from he's a switch hitter too, right?
I believe so, but I think he's got better power numbers against righties.
Yeah, so perfect guy to slot in. I mean, I wanted so hard to put Tom Murphy at my DH spot because there's so much fun that you have with the 3-catcher dynamic. Like Cooper Hummel could be our new Luis Torrens, our long favorite son.
Oh,
and you
the
can think of it
greatest
this
defender.
way. we're all from the state of Washington. We all grew up Mariners fans, and that's what Cooper Hummel is. Coming off the season that the Mariners had last year, him being a local product. Tomorrow is going to be God, I wanted to drop the F on there. Fantastic.
Do it.
Not dropping the E's yet. That's on the clinch episodes. We already know that. But
this could
just think of
test
the
if our
joy.
viewers go up with an E on it.
That's true.
Maybe. But think about the joy and euphoria that you would get if you right now played in the bigs and you get to come home to your hometown team after the most magical season in 2 decades.
Well, I mean, let's look at Matthew Boyd last year. We picking him up. He was ecstatic to come play for his home team.
Cain, I'm guessing you also had Hummel, so give some Hummel stats.
Yeah.
Give me some stats.
Well, I mean, I don't have it pulled
Stat
up.
source Rex.
Hold on. Cooper.
Yeah, like 3 dingers in spring training. There you go.
I saw a picture of Tom Murphy, and the guy looks jacked. Like
good. He's gotta keep that back in shape.
Yeah.
All right. So in spring training, Cooper Hummel hit 275, 40 at bats, 15 runs, 11 hits, 4 home runs, 7 RBIs, and 4 stolen bases.
Yeah.
Damn.
He's
That's
the ultimate guy to give somebody the day off.
Yeah.
Or as you know, put him at the DH spot. So my left field, I've got Killin going against the matchup. You want lefty heavy hitters when they are facing a righty. J-Rod probably going to be the leadoff guy, and absolutely be
some Colton
electric.
Wong batting leadoff. I like or batting 2.
I feel like he would be more of a 6 or a 7 guy, and you would have JP round out the lineup like you did last year.
Yep.
But you have J-Rod, Teoscar, Gino, JP, Colton Wong, Ty France, Cal behind the plate because he was mashing righties last year. And my DH would be Cooper Hummel. Just more lefties in your lineup. Force a pitcher like Shane Bieber, who doesn't throw extreme gas and relies a lot on his off speeds. I think this team's going to dial in early against him.
I hope so. Yeah, if I'm going straight lineup, I'm going Julio leading off, Ty France in the 2-hole. Go ahead and put Teoscar batting 3 for me. Gito batting 4. Go ahead and give me Kelnick in the 5 spot.
I thought you were gonna go fucking.
Nope. Going Kelnick in the 5 spot. And don't worry, it was soft enough. Not everyone heard it. Oh, yeah,
I thought
I'm
you were
not going
going
Kelnick in the 5 spot. What am I thinking? Cal's going in the 5.
Yeah.
Kelnick in the 6. Go ahead and give me Cooper Hummel at 7, Colton Wong at 8, and give me JP in the 9-hole.
And I believe Colton Wong, is he a righty or lefty hitter?
He's a lefty because he's going to platoon with Dylan Moore when healthy.
You're going to have so many lefties at the bottom of this lineup, which you did not have last year.
Well, and you've got the speed aspect with Hummel clocking in at 4 stolen bases. Colton Wong still has some speed. And JP, although he doesn't have the stolen base numbers, you cannot find me a better guy at cutting bases and getting great angles than JP Crawford. That dude, I've seen him score looking so effortlessly on a ball he shouldn't have scored from first base multiple times across his Mariners career.
Yeah. I just think that's the most ideal lineup. Kind of Cal being your big guy because 2, 3, 4 can get on.
Yeah.
And then you
bring
call
up mash.
And you know, every time Cal has came up for me in MLB The Show, I always go, and now to the plate, we got Big Number.
Yeah. All right. So speaking, you talking about big power and all that, let's go some firsts for the season. We'll go with Cain to lead this one off. Cain, who hits the first home run for the Mariners this year?
His name on the route to his all-star year, Jared Kelenic.
First inning or
first at bat?
First inning or second inning?
Second at bat second inning because I don't think he'll get the first inning. Bieber's going to come out and shove, but I think second inning, they get a hold of him. You're getting all to the lefties, and I believe he is going to lead it off.
All right. Lefty, who you got? First dinger of the year.
I'm gonna go with Gino.
It's a good pick.
I think they'll go 1, 2, 3. Gino lead off the second inning with a bomb.
You know what? That's fair.
That's a great pick.
That is a fantastic pick. Coach Red, who you got?
I think Luis Castillo is going to come out, face maximum of 4 hitters, not give up a run in the first. And Julio Rodriguez is going to send the place into the stratosphere and set the tone for the season with a leadoff homer.
I wanted to go with that.
Dude, if he hits a leadoff homer, I'm going to lose my goddamn mind.
Yeah,
he's gonna go get another beer. If he hits home run, he will go get another beer.
I'm not, because I need to stay awake, because I could barely stay awake fighting this sickness. I'm not. I'm I might have one beer the entire game, to be completely honest. But no, Julio Rodriguez, his first game back from the DL stint, first at bat at home, yeah, just tanked. And what a way to set the tone to start the season. Your new young superstar just going Yahtzee.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Oh man, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. So better have it now. Speak it into existence. All right. So gave you a little bit of preview. Now we're gonna go a little bit deeper. Ooh, I don't know who I'm gonna start with here. All right, so we're gonna give you a position player and a pitcher who we think are going to overperform and underperform based on their preseason projections for us. Lefty, go ahead and give me your pitcher who you think will underperform.
So I'm going to go with Diego Castillo as the underperformer. I know I said overperformer at first.
He's flipping the script.
I'm flipping it. I couldn't get behind it. He has struggled since he's been in Seattle.
He's very streaky.
Yeah, very streaky. Has good nights, also has terrible nights. So I just think it's going to stay the same for him, potentially be worse. And I think he needs to get out of Seattle, honestly, but for both Seattle and his sake. But I'm going with Diego as my underperforming pitcher.
Cain, who's your underperformer?
My underperformer is going to be Marco Gonzalez.
So you're shitting on the only lefty in the rotation.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man.
Left-handers unite, I guess.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Marco, and he has given his everything to this team, especially when you had a very aging Felix. Marco was kind of our saving grace, and with the Yusei Kikuchi not being super great.
Don't even remind me.
So the distaste I have for Marco's style of pitching in this new era of baseball just doesn't mesh. If you're not pumping gas and your off speed isn't on point, which is what he thrives on, is his off speed stuff, I just think he's going to get shelled around more, and the Mariners are going to have to make a decision at some point in the season to maybe put Flexen as that fifth guy, or maybe call up Emerson.
I would say Bryce Miller is probably a little closer than Emerson right now. He's the talk of the town.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Who do you got, Coach?
This one hurts me because it's a guy that I do love, but you've seen some chinks in the armor, and hopefully it's not going to be in big spots. But for me, it's Paul Sewald, because he's gone through stretches where he can become home run prone, and he's a late inning guy for Scott Service. And if he's pitching in those games, it's usually because they're a little bit closer. So I'm hoping that the home run ball won't plague him again, but I could definitely see a regression in that, because I love nothing more than seeing Paul Sewald just flex on
Yeah.
people after he strikes out that last better inning. But there were times last year where you saw some struggles, and I could see that progressing a little bit more because he's not getting any younger.
Right. I mean,
But
I really love Seawald, but as you said, I think the only execution pitch that he has is his slider because he throws a 4-seam and a 2-seam, and it's really tough to be a dominant closer when you only have a fastball and a slider.
yeah, but with that 2-seam, you get some interesting run on it.
A little bit, but
all right. Pitcher you think that is going to overperform? Let's go with Lefty France.
I got Andres Munoz as the overperformer.
The Bombero.
Yeah.
the next great closer that
See,
the
and that's
Mariners
what
have
I was
produced.
gonna say, yeah, is what Coach Red was saying is Seawald could struggle, and depending on how much he's struggling, Munoz could slide into that closing position. Guy throws gas and has a disgusting off speed, like makes people look silly. So I think he is the upcoming closer for the Mariners. So I think he's gonna have an incredible year and have quite a bit of saves too. So
Cain,
Andres Munoz.
where are you going?
My overperformer for pitchers for the 2023 season. Give me the second year guy, George Kirby. I think you're not going to limit him as hard this year.
You're not going to limit him at all.
You are going to let him cook, and he is going to come out like it's game 3 of the ALDS every single outing. And he is going to shut the competition down, and he will have the best season for all Mariners pitchers. Coach Red, who are you taking?
I mean, Lefty's got me hyped up on the relievers. King got me thinking starters. Give me Logan Gilbert. And the reason I'm going Logan Gilbert, he comes in with a new pitch in that splitter. He's a guy that gets deeper into games. You saw him take that step forward last year, and I'm expecting more of the same. And he's a guy that I think could be on the cusp of 20 wins out of your 3 spot, which is bananas to think about.
Yeah.
He pinpoints accuracy. He can get some quick innings. When he avoids the big inning, he's awesome. And that was his issue his rookie year. He couldn't figure out how to get out of an inning. And that was fixed last year. You saw him get deeper into games. You saw the wins ratchet up. And it seems like he's that guy that he's like the reverse Felix Hernandez syndrome, where when Felix was on the bump, he couldn't score runs and it was a struggle to win behind him. I feel it's the exact opposite for Logan Gilbert. When he's on the bump, like the runs just come in bunches.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you can see some big things, especially in the win-loss column for Logan Gilbert this year.
The scariest thing, in my opinion, about this whole entire pitching staff is 1 through 4 can easily, individually, have around a low 2 to a mid 2 ERA across the board.
Cain coming in with the fire takes.
Like
fire man.
That's how good that this
man.
team can be. And the only, like, besides Marco, but I feel like Robbie will get lit up a little bit because that's what happens. But he's still gonna have high strikeouts.
Yep. I almost went with Chris Flexen because you're not expecting much out of him, and him just being very good in the bullpen when an injury hits, him also doing well in the rotation, or Matt Brash, because Matt Brash is poised to be the setup guy behind at some point. Like the future is bright for the bullpen.
He's going to be Devin Williams practically. Devin Williams is, in today's day and age of baseball, the ultimate setup guy. You can't put him in as
a guard for like the Jazz.
No.
Oh, that's Deron Williams.
That was Deron. I'm talking about the Brewers pitcher. I mean, in all the games,
Jason Williams, white chocolate.
In all of the games that he came in the WBC as the setup, absolutely shut down, and it gave way for your 9th inning guy. And that's exactly what I see Brash doing, because he's got a 5-pitch mix going into that setup role, and that's That's scary within itself.
All right. Now we're going to go to the position players. Lefty, who is your position player that you think is going to underperform a little bit?
Sorry, Cain, but I'm going with Jared Kelnick. I just can't get behind it. Until he truly proves something. Like, yeah, he had a great spring training, but that's not really saying a ton. Like, he's facing some guys that are going to be in the minors. I hope he has a great year, but I just can't get behind it. And everyone's hyping him up that he's going to have a breakout season. So I think he's going to underperform from what everyone's expectations are of him.
You'll have your chance at a rebuttal. Chill.
What a
I know. I'm just
shame.
making his blood boil.
Let's keep it fresh. Let's keep it fresh. All right. Cain, who's your underperformer?
My underperformer is going to be AJ Pollock. Didn't have the greatest spring. Didn't have the greatest 2022. I believe he was with the White Sox last year. And with that White Sox lineup, how it was structured, it kind of gave him all the tools necessary to succeed, especially with Luis Robert, Jose Abreu, Tim Anderson, the whole gang that they've got there. I just don't see him really contributing much.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
He has a fish-based name and is going to a nautical-based team. Do you think that will have any play?
I don't.
Play on the field.
He's also 35. So he's a guy that in years past that can hit up to 25 home runs. And that's kind of what I was hoping to get when we signed him. But I just don't think he'll be the option for a platoon guy all year. I think you're going to see Sam or Cooper out there a lot more with Kellenick. Coach Red?
I have some flashbacks, little PTSD to the word soggy arm, to the Drew Smiley experiment, and hearing that about JP Crawford doesn't give me a lot of optimism, if you will. He came out hot last year, kind of struggled a little bit, became more of a contact guy down the stretch. I think that he's going to be a capable 9-hitter, but I think that you're going to see him struggle a little bit more with injuries this year. And with the talent that you have on this team, he could lose some playing time as it goes along, which I hope isn't the case, because he's the firecracker of the infield. You feel like JP's been here for a decade, even though he's been here for 3 years. He's been a cornerstone of the rebuild, and I think that with the Mariners not going after the high-profile shortstops, a lot of trust is given to JP, and I think that this is a real big make-it-or-break-it year. I'm hoping he exceeds my expectations, but if he regresses a little bit, it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, I mean, with the hot start you talked about last year, I believe in the first month in all of April, I believe.
He was like leading the MLB, or he was second in the MLB in WAR behind like Taylor Ward with stupid Angels.
He had a high average. He hit 4 or 5 home runs in April, and then he just kind of panned out.
Yeah.
All right. I'm tired of being negative. Let's go back to the positive. Lefty, who's overperforming for you this year?
I'm going Gino Suarez.
Big year last year.
I know. I'm thinking he's
fire take here. Cain,
another
pass the hose.
Yeah. I'm thinking he's gonna have another 30+ home run year with 100 RBIs, because the top of the lineup is even better. And I think he might have a decent amount of strikeouts, but I think his average might be a little bit better as well. 240s, 250s range.
Give me that 260, 265 average.
Okay.
Give me a 265, 35 bombs.
Blow him back over here.
96 RBIs on the year. I'm taking it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. In the worst kept secret of this episode, Cain, the listeners are just sitting on the edge of their seats, wondering who your overperformer is going to be. Let's release the mystery.
Give me Jared Kelenic. Give him to me. So, as I've said in recent episodes, this is a make it or break it year for Jared Kelenic with the Mariners organization. If he does not perform well, don't be surprised at the deadline or in the offseason he gets dealt. Do not be surprised, because this is going on year 3 in the bigs. And you've had so much hype building and building and building around you, from the Mets trade to making the team. We all thought, damn, this dude is the real deal. As Coach Red has said in the past, absolutely electric in Tacoma.
I did say that.
But once he steps on the major league field, I mean, he just gets in his head. There have been times where he's been sent down, got called up, had great plate discipline. But I think this is a year you're going to see a 25-plus home run season out of Jared Kelenic.
The Tacoma aroma must have spark his home run energy.
Well, it's like, if you want to be a part of this team's bright future, I think the 2 main staples you need to have in your outfield are Jared Kelenic and Julio.
Yeah.
To have those 2 feed off each other. I mean, let's look back at spring training where they went back to back. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And you could definitely get away with Julio being your 1 and JK being your 2-hitter.
I like it.
Let's make it happen.
Make it happen, Captain.
Coach Red, who's your overperformer this year?
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
He's not even on the 26th man right now. It's my boy Dylan Moore.
Oh, yeah.
That guy.
Shocker.
Love that guy. With them buying out some arbitration years and giving him that extension where they're locking him down to true money, I think that you're going to see when he's healthy, he's going to platoon. I think that with the soggy arm and maybe some injuries that pop up with JP, you're going to see him in the lineup a lot more. And when you hear Jerry Dipoto and Scott Service talk about Dylan Moore, it's always in the highest of praises. I think that COVID shortened year, you saw the glimpse of what he could be, and he's been hit with a little bit of injuries here and there. Once he puts it all together, the guy's electrifying defensively all across the board. He's got great speed, and God, when he runs into a ball, it goes a country mile. I mean, having this guy as the super utility, I think by the end of the year, he could be locking down a starter spot. You want to fire, you save it for the fireman.
The Los Bomberos.
You wanted the Thunder. We're giving you the Electric Factory in video format.
Video and audio. And if you want to also see it in writing or other video clips or shorts, hop on over to social media. Maybe follow a guy like me, your boy Coach Red, on Twitter at The Real Coach Red, on Instagram at The Real_Coach Red. Also hop on over to YouTube, search Kickin' It with Coach Red, like, subscribe, hit the bell notifications, maybe drop a comment or 2. Cain, where you at?
You can find me on Twitter and YouTube at Killing Cain.
Lefty, France, bring us home.
You can follow me on Twitter at Lefty France, on Instagram at DFrance13. Follow the pod on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Red Pod. Follow us. Do it, freaking do it.
Go Mariners. And as always, stay fresh.
Stay fresh, peeps.
Peace.